Former Straits Times editor Cheong Yip Seng has released a tell-all book on the inside story of Singapore's national newspaper. The book, titled O.B. Marcus, My Straits Times Story, was officially launched on Friday. Mr. Cheong spent more than 40 years in journalism and occupied the hot seat of Editor-in-Chief of the Singapore Press Holdings English and Malay Newspapers Division under 3 Prime Ministers. He recounts his experiences in the book.
The knuckle-duster era was a very tough era for us. The press had to be ultra-sensitive to how the government thinks. And we have to report issues bearing in mind, how the government will see our coverage. And that was not easy to do, because at the same time we also have to be sensitive to the needs of our readers who may see things in a different way. So as I said, how do we strike a balance between the two sets of readers? So that was very difficult.
Mr. Cheong said he wrote the book because he wanted readers to understand the importance of the role of the Straits Times and to encourage young journalists to remain in the profession. In the book, Mr. Cheong shares many off-the-record experiences he had with the government and how he steered the Straits Times through the difficult media landscape.
Were you concerned that the politicians would not be so happy that you had basically captured everything for the whole world to see? And are you concerned that you're giving basically Singaporeans this no-holds-barred glimpse of the way the relationship between the government and the media is?
I was prepared for whatever might have been thrown at me, but I rather doubt it for this very simple reason. And it is that I believe that on matters of media and government-media relations, this government is prepared to defend its management of the media to the ends of the earth. I'm quite confident that they are convinced that what they are doing is right, and that they will defend it, and they will be very transparent about how media is managed in Singapore.
From what I get, listening to the first question by Rachel, by Philip's question, and Patrick's comment, his concern whether this O.B. Marcus will also be seen as a confirmation, I told you so. This is the kind of government we had. And I fear this is the kind of question that will still linger with this book, that it confirms the kind of government we have, and the problems that I think question of freedom of the press will bring about in Singapore.
If this book leads to a public debate that will enable a much more intense and deeper examination on the issue of government and media management, I'll be most happy, because this is an issue that affects all of us, our futures. Because the intersection between media and politics is an intense one. And if this results, in further calibration on how the media ought to be regulated, I think we will be better for it.
In the next clip, Mr. Cheong talks about the highs and lows of his 43-year career in journalism.